welcome back. I think I remember our great first season Vini had about 2 years ago. This Ballon d'Or worthy season. Eventually, Rodri ended up winning the Ballon d'Or that year. We still saw how good Vini was. Obviously, eventually leading Madrid to win Champions League that year as well. And then we see Mbappe joining Madrid in the summer afterwards with a sense of expectations to this Madrid team. Seeing Vini, who obviously was second in the Ballon d'Or voting, one of the best players in the world. And now Mbappe joining him, who was at the time the best player in the world or the best player in the world. I feel like he was a lot of creating expectations for Real Madrid. Seeing these two guys play alongside each other was something that a lot of people want to see. And obviously, like we grew up, at least I grew up watching Real Madrid win every single Champions League with Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe. I do feel like when I saw Mbappe, joining Vini, at first you will feel like we're gonna see this era of Real Madrid dominance go back again after some years of kind of being a bit down into the shadows. And the thing is, the truth is that it did not work. I think last year, we can all admit, it was a very disappointing one for Real Madrid. Not winning a single serious trophy was a very big hit for them. Finishing second in the league when Barcelona was a very big hit. Finishing for the final Champions League also a very big hit. I mean, we saw Barcelona team who kind of built the most of the team through the academy, at least that key players got through the academy. And seeing that Barca team be way better performing and being way better in terms of achievements-wise, the Real Madrid team who spent so much trying to bring Mbappe to this team and trying to make Galacticos work again. They had to fire Ancelotti at the end of the year. Kind of was a bit anticlimax. And I do feel like Vini throughout this year of disappointment, I do feel like he had a big role to play that. I don't think it's a secret that Vini and Mbappe don't play well together. Obviously, Vini and Mbappe kind of want to play in the same space, the left half space of the pitch. Also, Mbappe, I feel like he's just way better as a left winger. Even spoke himself about him preferring to play as left winger rather than a striker in the French national team. I do feel like showing Vini and Mbappe together, both guys who kind of like to play in the same area, always a bit contrasting. I don't know, maybe like Ancelotti will find a way to put them both together, try to play them both together. I mean, they play both together, but I don't think they played to enough high level. Also, the defensive work was also something that was very much lacking from both of them. And in modern football, you have two players on your team who don't work hard defensively. To be a very big high chance they're going to be weak defensively. That's what we saw last year. Obviously, offensively, we saw a lot of struggles offensively, trying to build an attack that could be built around Mbappe and Vini. Both those guys, I feel like throughout the last season, we see also a lot of them playing ISO ball, if you know what I mean. It's like just having the ball at their feet, trying to do something for themselves, and not really passing the ball. And now this season, obviously, Xabi Alonso now being the head coach, and we've seen this change from Ancelotti to Xabi Alonso. I really wanted to see how Vini and Mbappe play together under Xabi. I do think that we've seen a better Vini than we saw last year. I also do think that we're seeing a way better Mbappe than we saw last year. Mbappe is everyone running, scoring goals and goals, has been amazing this year. Well, I do think Vini, again, has kind of fell to the shadows of Mbappe. I do think that right now it's kind of fallen to even third in the best player rankings of the team. I don't think Mbappe right now is the best player in the world or the team. I also think Jules Bellingham was the second best or second most important player for the team, if you want to say so, over Vinicius Jr. So I do think that it is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit weird to see how Vini can go from being this Ballon d'Or worthy player, being the main guy, the untouchable player at Real Madrid, to now go for a third player at Real Madrid, to find out Mbappe and Bellingham, not really getting a lot of stardom when they're playing. And you're seeing like this year, we're seeing him being the sixth most used player in this season. Obviously last year, also the seventh most used player. I think he missed like 6 games through injuries. So obviously this year hasn't missed any through injuries. We've seen a lot of times him being sold off early in some games, not even starting. We saw against Barcelona, that Clasico game. Actually, I think Vini played quite well. Obviously, Mbappe was still playing amazingly and still better than Vini was. And Jules Bellingham as well, playing an amazing game. Vini was the guy who subbed off quite early in the second half. And I think we all saw the scene that he caused Xabi Alonso and then leaving to the dressing room and everything. I do think there are a lot of tension around Vini and Hamed at this moment. Also, there have been reports of the negotiations kind of stalling with Vini, I'm sorry. Obviously, it's going to end in 2 years from now, obviously in 2027, and we've seen a lot of negotiations kind of stall a lot in terms of wage demands and all of that. So I do feel like that right now his role is being questioned, because seeing Mbappe and Jules Bellingham being way better players for Real Madrid. Well, we do know that Mbappe will play better without Vini in that team. Also, a lot of questions around this role being brought up to this team, and a lot of questions around if they can truly win trophies at a high level with Mbappe and Vini playing together. Also, this contribution stuff, also being seeing questions of, is Vinicius Jr. worth all that money? Is Vinicius Jr. worth breaking the bank, trying to go in, always waste demands? To be fair, I don't know if that's a yes or no question right away. I do feel like we're going to see a lot of empty season, but I do feel like his role in the team is being questioned, and with a reason. I have like 3 teams here who I think have been the most linked to Vinicius Jr. Probably some because of pure trying to get likes and comments of the popularity links. Others, I think, will definitely have some football sense behind them, so we'll go after that. The first team is Chelsea. I do think Chelsea are one of the few teams who actually have the financial power to be able to make this move. I think we want to know that currently is being very strict on PCR with all the lower teams and everything, and Chelsea has found a way to somehow trick everyone by going over PCR. But I do think Chelsea, I think we all know that Chelsea's weakness is on their wingers. I do think that Pedro Neto, Garnacho, and Gittins, especially those 2 wingers, are very one-dimensional wingers. Are the players who are amazing with their pace, right? I think we all know they are, in terms of being able to dribble past defenders with their pace, being able to do that. I think they're amazing at that. I don't think they have to play in a counter-attacking system to be amazing, because their pace is their best strength. But I don't think that they are not great. I don't think they are, apart from their pace, I don't think they bring enough to the table for a team who wants to use them. I don't think they have the creativity to be able to create for Jean-Pierre to score goals, or to put Jean-Pierre to Cole Palmer also be able to score goals. I don't think they also have the finishing ability to score goals for themselves. I don't think they have the dribbling ability to even go out there and create shots for himself. I don't think that if Chelsea wants to truly become a great team, I don't think they want, because of all the investment they've done in the last years. I do think they've got to kind of separate themselves from Pedro Neto, or the type of wingers like Pedro Neto, Garnacho, Gittins, who are all wingers, again, as I said, always on the pace, but they don't bring any end products to your team. Vinicius is a guy who I still relies a bit on his pace. It's kind of similar to that aspect of those 3 guys, as I mentioned. But end products is way better than what they give them. His creativity is way better than what Pedro Neto or any of those guys can offer. His finishing ability is also amazingly, and we know how great it can be at Real Madrid. If he puts the numbers so at Real Madrid, if he has an amazing team around him, right, where he still has to be the main man. Where I do think at Chelsea going to be a one-off dispute with Cole Palmer. I do still think Vinicius Jr. is the best player, always be the best player over Cole Palmer. I do think Vini get the opportunity to again start to be the main guy again over Chelsea. I do think you can see a very good situation for Vini to really go get it. Also, Chelsea is a team that obviously I don't like Chelsea and like all that transfer policy or whatever. But I have to acknowledge that Chelsea has a pretty good team, right? I think striker-wise, Pedro and Dalp are 2 guys who will probably be great strikers for years coming. Cole Palmer is a guy, a number 10, who's going to be there for Chelsea. He's going to be the franchise cornerstone for years running. We're also going to see like Caicedo and Fernandes kind of form a great midfield there. They also have some young players in that, like waiting to come, like Giovanni Kennis waiting to come to Chelsea, or even to the bench like Andre Santos, who I feel like are also very good players, or could be very good players in the future. I do think the Chelsea team has some future. Obviously, a lot of it lies on the fact if Chelsea is able to make some signings to improve their squad depth and improve their defense, and we can see have surrounding also apart from their winger problems. I don't think Chelsea team with Vinicius Jr. can make some great things happen. And I think we're seeing now more and more teams having to have that star power in them. They have to have great players if they want to win. And Vini is a guy that can give that Chelsea, because we've seen him win La Ligas, we've seen him win Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. So I have no doubt that Vini is a guy that can go to Chelsea and carry them to glory in England or outside England. Second team, Man City. I do think that every team that I want transferred 2 years ago, the transfer policy has low-key changed in the last couple of years. I think we're now seeing Man City go for more one of the cases, more promising young talents rather than like big names like they usually did like 5-6 years ago. We see him now go into Cherki, a young guy from Lyon. We're going to see him go from Aituri, a young guy from Wolves. Even Rangers is somewhat the biggest name they got in the last couple of years, which I don't think is really that big of a name at all. Like even like last winter, Marmouche is a young guy, Vitor Reis, Kusanov, a lot of young guys were brought into this team. Again, I don't think who said, I think it was Gary Neville who said this. In the last couple of years, City are not no longer pursuing these big name players. So kind of Vini would be a very big huge contrast to what they're trying to do right now. However, I do think that seeing the results last year, also this year, not really that great. Not seeing the City dominated as what they did the last years. So maybe a switch in that transfer policy kind of work for City if they want to win either way. And Vini Jr. would be a guy that surprisingly, help City a lot. I don't know that City has a very big history of dealing with Jack Grealish, a left winger who came in from Aston Villa. A guy of Aston Villa was an amazing driller, creator, and when came to Man City, a lot of people kind of blame Pep Guardiola for Grealish failing as a transfer signing, as his big transfer signing. I think it was the record British signing at that time. A lot of people are blaming Pep Guardiola because of that failure, because I do think a lot of people think that it's very robotic, his system. And a guy like Jack Grealish, I think we all know, is very creative in terms of wanting to have his freedom to play with the ball. I've seen now Everton kind of succeed with that freedom on the ball. And obviously Pep is a guy who's still a bit systematic sometimes. I do think that it's kind of taking that type of part of his game recently. We're now seeing him kind of take Chemi Doku on his arms. A guy who I feel like is very much the definition of a dribbler player. A guy who can very much dribble against players, but the end product is still lacking there. It's a guy, it's a dribble merchant, right? I feel like that's a term that's very recurrent in football now. A dribble merchant. And obviously, I feel like it's also a bit weird. I don't think Doku is anywhere near type of winger that Guardiola had 6 years ago with Sane or Raheem Sterling pressing the left flank. And now he made a tactical change this weekend actually to put Doku playing on the inside. And I think Vini would also be a guy who would be fit amazingly in that role, I'll say, tactically. Because it's a guy that, even though he also likes to play sometimes wide, especially in contact situations, I think he's also able to do that at Man City. It's the guy that prefers to play inside, speaking about his combination with Mbappe. It's a guy that wants to play inside. And by Guardiola now trying to put Doku, which is kind of big driller, playing more in the inside, and we're seeing a better City version of that. Seeing City play better with Doku inside. I very much see Vinicius should be able to truly succeed in that role of playing inside, and also the partnership with Vini and Haaland will be way better than the partnership that he has now with Mbappe. Also because Mbappe is a guy that wants a lot of the ball. Mbappe is Haaland is this guy, like this pure number 9 talking about in football. It's a guy only like 3 or 4 touches to score a goal, which can be purely save the box number 9, get opportunities and score them. While Mbappe is a guy that can try to get the ball on his feet, try to create shots for himself, for his teammates, rather than just trying for someone like Vini to create shots for himself. But seeing also partnership with Vini and Haaland work out together, I feel like it's very encouraging for City to try and go after Vinicius Jr. I think it's a guy that, even though, again, I said, I feel like even though Doku is playing better now, I feel like the wingers have been a problem for quite some time now. Turkey's right winger, well, I think he's still very young. I don't think he's really quite that ready for being a week in, week out starter for Man City. I don't think Vinicius still has some role in this game. Also, still Doku is definitely a very much raw player at the moment. So I do think bringing in a star player, I don't think they've had in the winger position for quite some time now. Even Phil Foden's a guy that's either playing on the left or playing on the right. I don't think it's a guy that's truly established himself as a starter or as a key player of the City's team. I do think that they really lack a star winger to that team. So maybe Vinicius is the guy they want to go to. Again, I said, I think they also City is a team that has the financial power to do that. I don't know how the PCR goes. I know they are also going through a very bad situation of those breaches and everything. So I don't know how open they will be to signing Vinicius Jr. But I do think if he was to bring in, I don't think asked me a year ago if I do think Vini would be amazing under Guardiola. I'll probably say no, because Vini is a guy I feel like don't really like to play on the system. Especially I think the worst part of Vinicius Jr. is off the ball. His defensive work rate is something that managers have to work around him if they want him to play. So I don't know if City or Pep is able to do that, is able to kind of make the sacrifice. But I do think that right now, especially since that tactical switch from Doku and him now playing inside, I do think Vini can see this as a City team who can actually very much fit them. And again, City team is very, very good. They have the best manager, one of the best managers in the world. I think they're in third right now in Premier League. I'm not quite sure about that. But they are a team that can go so much longer with Vini on their team. I feel like it'll also be very interesting to see how well he will do under Pep. Our third team is PSG. I do think that this is probably one of those links that don't make any sense. I don't think PSG should even go try and go after Vinicius Jr. We saw PSG go through their mega star era with trying to sign Mbappe, signing Neymar, signing Messi. I don't think that right now they are in the business of going after mega stars. Especially their attack right now has been amazing. There's Dembele, a guy bought for 50 million from Barcelona, who's a Ballon d'Or winner now. There's also Ramos, a guy bought from Benfica, a youngster who has now turned out to be an amazing super sub, an amazing backup number 9 if you want to have him. It's an amazing backup number 9. You want the wings, you have Barcola, Varskia, Sedoué, 3 amazing wingers who are playing very, very well at PSG. I don't think that's really a big need for Vini to also come into the team. Also, again, as I said, basically kind of the big name of the signings. I think it was cost around like 17, 18 million. I think kind of the limit of PSG were brought in some players. I don't think that Vini kind of falls right now with the transfer policy that PSG has. Also, expensive work rate is something that will very much be a problem at PSG. We saw like even the documentary, there have been clips of Luis Enrique like criticizing Mbappe in front of him about expensive work rates. Like saying big teams need the best players to perform defensively. And Vini is a guy that obviously on Xabi Alonso kind of seeing Mbappe be better defensively. His work rate has increased slightly. But Vini is a guy that I do feel like the same problems resides in that team. I don't think expensive work rate will be enough for Enrique to be happy with him. And considering how great they are offense in terms of players, considering how well they've done since going away from trying to bring in all the megastars they can possibly can, I don't think it makes any sense for PSG to go after Vinicius Jr. Does it make sense trying to get likes and comments? Definitely. Do PSG has the power financially to make this move happen? Very much possibly. But I don't think that in terms of football sense, Luis Campos, an amazing sporting director, I don't think it makes any sense. I don't think there's any realism to the fact that Vini can go to PSG. So in conclusion, if Vini does actually end up playing with Real Madrid, which I find it very difficult to happen, I still feel like he'll probably remain in Real Madrid come next year and probably renew his contract. I do think that the best two teams to sign are probably Chelsea and Man City. I do think that team, if it suits form, I think that also the team that's kind of more suited for buying him financially is Chelsea. The team that I think they've got something brewing right now. I feel like Vini can be very much welcome. Has a great Brazilian atmosphere around the club, has the power to give to get the wages as he wants. I feel like it's a team that kind of is desperately needed for a second star of like Cole Palmer. And Vini can be the guy. Vini can be the guy to really become the second star offensively. Also, Cole Palmer is the guy with a lot of financial issues. Still spent part of last year on injury. Is still being injured this year as well. So I don't know how truly, how truly reliable he is in terms of fitness issues. Vinicius is a guy who can come in Chelsea team, be the main guy, even with Cole Palmer fit. And again, I feel like he can truly take this Chelsea team. As I'm talking about Chelsea team now, I don't feel like they're that great of a team. I don't think they are a top 4 quality team. But towards bringing Vini, I feel like they'll kind of jumpstart them to being a top 4 team, to being a top 3 team. I feel like I'll put them a little bit below Arsenal in terms of player, in terms of team quality. I just feel like if they have bringing Vini, that real good would be very much on the verge of finalizing it.